We don't want the chickens running all over in the neighborhood and stuff. And matter of fact, I passed this week and I seen the chicken from last year, a rooster, still walking around and stuff. And that's not the first time. And we have had a couple of people call me and, hey, Mr. Victorian, you forgot a couple of chickens out of you. You know, they couldn't catch them.
Thanks for joining us on Louisiana's Playground Podcast, your roadmap to all things Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'm Brady Raynard.
And I'm Jillian Corder. We're excited to bring you, again, the authentic stories and experiences of Southwest Louisiana. We've got all the tools you need to build your own personal Lake Charles itinerary.
And is there anything more authentic than Mardi Gras?
I don't think so, especially a rural Mardi Gras like what Iowa has in store.
Well, good. That's what's coming up on episode 88 here on the podcast, the Iowa Chicken Run. We talked to the captain, Mr. Rodney Victorian. He's been at it for a while, nearly 30 years of Iowa Mardi Gras.
Yep.
And so a lot to get to there in the show. Before we do that, as we always do, let's have a taste of Southwest Louisiana. Jillian, I think we're going to call this On the Eats.
Sounds good to me.
And this week we head to one of our Chuck Eats restaurant participants. It's Augustine.
So Augustine is a new restaurant in downtown Lake Charles, and it's absolutely gorgeous in there. It's a small setting. Mm-hmm. It feels very intimate. It's a great place. We went there for lunch, obviously, but a great place to have like a nice little dinner. It's a good date night spot.
Absolutely, yes. It's one of those.
I'm hinting at you.
It's what I'm getting so much interference here in my headset. I can't even
date night. She said
I can't even figure out what's going on here. It's a great date night spot. It's obviously a great like business lunch, or even just it's casual enough for you and your buddies to go and
sure.
and grab a bite. It's led by Chef Dave Evans and his wife Nanette, which they are of Luna fame in town. If you've been to Luna, that is also their restaurant.
One of my other favorites.
And he actually named this restaurant in honor of his mother, who was a restaurateur here in Lake Charles as well, who was originally from France. So it's a lot of cool lore, if you will, for the restaurant. It's set in the Phoenix building on the corner of Kirby and Ryan Street with a French ambiance, Southern flair, and a real polished dining experience, if you will.
So I leaned into that with my order. I got the Louisiana. It is a sandwich, Gruyere and Monterey Jack. Okay. Think grilled cheese, but smothered with caramelized onions, and it's served with a little French onion soup, which I dipped it in, like an au jus.
I like how you're kind of like...
I just liked this sandwich. It makes me move. I'm doing a dance behind the microphone because it was so yummy. The two different types of cheeses, it was super like...
There's like a childlike wonder from you.
Is that what's happening right now?
Yeah, that's what I think is...
Okay, well, that's how
it makes you feel like a kid again, right? Like
it did
make
me...
cheese.
Yes, but it was like grown-up grilled cheese. This elevated grilled cheese moment. Super, melty, yummy. The bread was perfectly toasted and buttery. I don't even normally get onions on my food, and so for me to go with essentially the French onion sandwich is a really big deal, but they were so wonderfully cooked. Mm-hmm. Tasted amazing. The French onion soup was just incredible. I dipped my sandwich in there, and it was another one of those moments. I do this all the time. I say, I'm going to eat half of this, and I'm going to save it. Nope. I powered through. I ate the whole thing. It's true. It was rich and bold, but it was not overwhelming in flavor. It just was really, really good. Hearty meal, especially for just you think just a grilled cheese sandwich. But this just had a lot of flavor to it. It packed a punch.
It's all very rich, very decadent, I would say.
It is.
Right?
That's a good way to describe
I went with the duck and andouille gumbo, and it was also very rich. A real spicy kick, well seasoned. When it comes to the roux, it was very, I don't know if it was maybe a butter roux or the duck fat from the duck makes it very rich, because duck fat itself is very rich.
Yeah.
So it's probably one of the two, and with it became very rich. The sausage is great. The flavor was like a rice and gravy flavor. And so overall, it was just a very, very good gumbo. In fact, someone on our team said it's their favorite gumbo in town. So it is definitely on the list of like, if you ask me which gumbos you need to try, I'm putting it on there.
It was very, I took a bite. It was It was very different. It was very good, and very different than what I've gotten anywhere else.
Yeah, a unique spin on a classic dish,
For
for
sure.
sure. And then for the entree, I went with the lobster roll, which is something you rarely see here.
Seafood galore here in Southwest Louisiana,
yet-
but a lobster roll is not normally on the menu.
Exactly. And they have it two ways. They have it cold with like an aioli, in kind of what you would typically get in like Maine, and then they have a hot, which is more of a garlic herb compound butter. So buttery, once again, so rich. But the roll was like toasty and crispy, but still soft, like it was perfection. And because of that, it just soaks up that butter.
Now
Okay.
who's doing the little dance?
Yeah,
move?
exactly. And it was a ton of lobster too. Buttery.
It was a ridiculous amount of
It was awesome.
lobster.
It was
on the
fantastic.
sandwich.
It was so good. It was so flavorful. I've never had a lobster roll before. I've had lobster, obviously, but never a roll. So good. And then on the side, they do their truffle fries, which are crispy shoestring fries. And there's a roasted garlic truffle aioli that you can dip with, Parmigiano cheese on top. Crispy and so cheesy. And that aioli is creamy and savory. All together, it's like tangy, zesty, citrusy. The fries were crisp. I mean, it was awesome. It was such a
Why-
cool flavor.
Why do I feel like truffle shoestring fries are actually good for me?
That's a good point. That's a really good
Like,
because they
okay,
are
Are they?
for the soul.
I think so. I feel like
You don't remember reading that book, Truffle Shoestring Fries for the Soul?
for the teenage soul.
For the
yes,
teenage soul.
I remember those. No, there's something about these though that you don't feel super guilty about.
Sure.
When you're eating them, and they're really really good. I love the little bit of like tang
Yep.
that comes on these fries. Very good
And
stuff.
everything on their menu looks incredible. And in
Yeah.
fact, if you are listening in the opening week of this podcast episode, they are a member of Chuck Eats as well.
That's right.
They're part of the participating member. And so they have a Chuck Eats special for this week that you definitely need to go try. Everything on their menu that I've had was phenomenal.
But anytime you are in downtown Lake Charles or passing through, you should consider Augustine for a quick stop and a bite to eat. They're right there in the heart of downtown Lake Charles on Ryan Street.
From a great meal to a great guest, we welcome on a decorated Mardi Gras captain. Nearly 3 decades worth of experience as captain of the Iowa Chicken Run Mardi Gras parade, festival, event, whatever you want to call it, it fits the billing. And in fact, not only has he been captain for nearly 3 decades, he's never missed an Iowa Mardi Gras ever.
That's pretty
Since
impressive.
the first one, Mr. Rodney Victorian.
Hello, how you doing?
So glad to have you on, Rodney. Of course, Southwest Louisiana is known for big city amenities and small town charm, and that's the part that we're going to be talking about today. But before we get started, we like to ask our guest a few questions so that our listeners better know how you play in Louisiana's playground. Are you ready?
Yes,
All right, number 1, crawfish or gumbo?
gumbo,
Ooh,
Good
an
choice.
easy answer for you.
gumbo.
And when you're talking Iowa Chicken Run, I mean, that's the best gumbo to get, huh?
Yes, it is.
All right, up next, poolside or beachside?
Beach.
Okay.
Why's that?
I like the feel of the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One with nature and
Yeah.
all, huh? Okay. Concert or comedy show?
Comedy show.
Okay. I thought you were going to say concert.
Like the laughter.
You like the laughter. Don't we all? A little escape, huh?
Yes.
Always a good time. Well, let's get to it. Let's talk about Iowa's Mardi Gras celebrations.
Yeah, and I think what's so awesome about what Iowa does is that when most people hear Mardi Gras, right, they think of parades, the big floats with the beads in the city, the concrete jungle, if you will. But Iowa keeps it very different and a very old tradition alive. So can you explain to me what is a chicken run, Courrier de Mardi Gras? You'll also see it called in French. How does it differ from the parades that many expect to see with a Mardi Gras celebration?
Well, it differs because of the simple fact, Iowa, what we do is we pretty much walk the town and stuff, and we try to pick up ingredients to make the gumbo for our after party and stuff. And that's the way we were brought up to do and stuff. Back in the day, they used to go out from house to house and ask for donations to make the gumbo. Some would give onions, some would give rice, some would throw up a chicken. If you catch that chicken, y'all could have it for the gumbo and stuff. And And that's pretty much the tradition that we try to keep going and stuff. Simple fact, like our kids, our future, they haven't seen real chickens and stuff in their life. They go to Popeyes and stuff, they eat chicken, but they never seen
Yeah.
a real chicken in life. You'd be amazed how many kids that come just to feel a chicken, a live chicken, a rooster more so because of the egg prices. They keep the hens, so we have the roosters. So pretty much we try to keep that tradition going.
I love that because the traditions of Mardi Gras, the roots of Mardi Gras are so vast and varied depending on where you live and what part of the state that you're from. And I love that in a more rural Mardi Gras celebration, you really keep those traditions like rooted in the ground.
We try.
And I loved you were kind of talking to me offset about where this really started for Iowa. That Iowa, for those uninitiated, is still a relatively new community, kind of a new settlement to the east of Lake Charles. But their roots in Mardi Gras come from a group of people that had moved in. And for example, the Victorian portion are the Bushnells, as you said that your grandfather was, from Swallow.
From Swallow, and they used to have it in Swallow, and they would go every year, go back to Swallow to do the tradition. And finally, they got tired of traveling back and forth, so they decided, hey, why don't we do Iowa Mardi Gras, bring it here to Iowa. And that's what my grandfather, Griffith Victorian, Buzu Chavis, a host of members, Roger Bellard, a host of members got together and they formed this Mardi Gras Iowa Chicken Run. My grandfather owned a club right when you're getting into Iowa. It used to be the White Eagle Lounge. And I was a young kid and stuff, and they used to have the Mardi Gras and start there. And they go out through the community, pick up chickens and rice and everything that they could donate, for the people. And when they would come back to the nightclub that evening, they would have the after party there.
Make that gumbo.
To make the gumbo, yeah.
So you're captain. This is a very specific and really respected role, right?
Yes, it is. I had a cousin, Griffith Victorian. My grandfather originally was the captain, then Griffith Victorian took it over after him. And one day Griffith Victorian told me, he says, we were preparing for the next day, the Mardi Gras, and he says, tomorrow I would like for you to follow me in my footsteps and be with me tomorrow. So I did. And I don't know, I guess he felt something coming on, and I've been captain ever since.
Wow. Any plans to pass that torch one day?
Yes, there is plans to pass that torch. I have kids, grandkids and stuff, and I would love to incorporate them into our procedure to where they could keep this going. And they're willing. It's just me not turning loose just yet.
You're just not ready to give it up.
Yeah.
Each year I keep saying, this is my last year. And it's just when you hear the music, you see the kids' faces and stuff, and it just lights me up personally,
What is the role of captain? What does that entail?
Well, the role of captain is to look, first of all, the safety of the people that's following you, your kids and stuff. The captain, I guess more so, go from house to house and ask for the donations and stuff. And then if there is donations or whatever, they'll flag the group to come on and dance. We give the whoever's giving something for the gumbo and stuff, we give them a few dances and stuff. We play a few tunes, then we dance in the yard and stuff and just show our appreciation and stuff, and we keep them moving on. Now, while they're dancing, the captain moves on to the next house and stuff and see if they want to participate, and then we move on from there and keep. And every now and then we just bring the roosters and stuff and throw ourselves because there isn't any chickens in Iowa naturally. So we just throw chickens out for the kids to keep them motivated and keep them fun. It is a lot of fun just to watch the kids.
It is truly such a community affair from, the parade being put on and actually being paraded through the town that are community members and guests. But, and then each house that you stop by are people that live there. And so that's what I love about the kind of the roots is that it is everyone's involved.
Yes. And right now, I mentioned the kids following and having, following stuff. My thing is now some of our elderly people that cannot come and participate in the after party and stuff in Iowa, we bring the Mardi Gras to them. Most of them are senior citizens and stuff. They can't come out and have fun and stuff with these younger kids stuff. So we bring them the Mardi Gras to their houses and have fun with them while, they're still there.
Keep instilling that tradition in the young kids.
Exactly.
Keep carrying it on. So let's talk a little bit about the costuming that goes into Mardi Gras, the fringed outfits and the pointy hats. Let's talk about that for a second.
Well, we don't have too many pointed hats and costumes and stuff. We do have some that dresses up and they really go out for it and stuff. But since we started, I say that everybody just be their self, and if they want to wear costumes and stuff, they just be their self. And that's what we try to keep this tradition going,
Iowa Mardi Gras is famously family friendly, like you said, going out from making sure to stop by the homes of some of your oldest
people, yes.
And then incorporating it for the kids too.
Yes, at the same time keeping the kids incorporated and seeing that the kids, pay respect to these elderly people that has this started from years ago and see where they're at now. And one day that'll be them.
I assume as captain, and you've been doing this for so long, that you meet a lot of people that come out to Iowa Mardi Gras who've never had this type of experience before.
Yes, ma'am. I have. We're also part of Louisiana Tourism Bureau, and every year they bring few people and from different places and stuff, and Nevada and California and everywhere. People just they hear about it and they want to come experience themselves. And a couple of years we've had people come from the tour bus and stuff, and they rented a car and came. Well, at 1:00 they pick them up and bring them to the big Mardi Gras here in Lake Charles. And a couple of people rented a car and they came back to Iowa, come met us to have a good time with us.
They said they weren't done.
They weren't done yet. And, they had such a good time doing the parade and stuff. They didn't want to leave, but they had to leave because of the tour. So they rented a car and came on back. And, I mean, when I seen them come back, I said, oh, y'all back. Yeah, we couldn't leave this. I mean, and, awesome. That's just open your heart and show that people appreciates what you're doing and stuff,
Let's switch gears a little bit and go back to the exciting part of the chicken run. And it is really it's a big deal if you're the kid that catches the chicken, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I give them a couple dollars and for catching the chicken because we don't want the chickens running all over in the neighborhood and stuff. And matter of fact, I passed this week and I seen the chicken from last year, a rooster from last year. Yeah, and still walking around and
He's
stuff.
still kicking. He said, "I'm free. Nobody can get me."
He probably cut that eye at
and
you,
that's
too.
not the first time. We have had a couple of people call me and, "Hey, Mr. Victorian, you forgot a couple of chickens out."
I found your chicken.
They couldn't catch them and stuff, but things happen and stuff. But it's just the enjoyment of seeing these kids' faces and stuff when they do catch the chicken and stuff.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because in the roots of the festival, that chicken would have been turned into the gumbo at the end of the day.
Exactly. Back in the day when when the house owner, whoever give the chicken and stuff, y'all catch your alcohol, they didn't make the gumbo until they got back to the after party at the hall and stuff. They went and boiled the water and cleaned the chicken, the roosters, and they made gumbo. They threw the ingredients in there, and it wouldn't be cooked till 9, 10 o'clock at night, before the gumbo was cooked. But now we try to prepare. We make on average 3 to 4 pots, big gumbo pots, and we make that before. Yeah. Well, it's being cooked while we are out there on the run. And when we get back, when the dance start, we give away the gumbo. And stuff.
Y'all start cooking on this gumbo 5 a.m. or something, right?
We have it early because when we get ready to leave or something, we want everything ready, fresh when we come back in. It'll be ready.
And what can people expect from that after party?
Well, Rusty Matoir is our band that we normally have and stuff, and he's a great performer and stuff. And he and his family, they decorate a float and stuff. And I tell you what, in the mornings when I get up, Rusty's already there setting up his band and stuff. And he said he wants to be there when he gets back from the Mardi Gras. They have a float and stuff. And he always tell me, he said, Mr. Rodney, he said, that day is specially booked for you. I'm not going anywhere else. My family and I, we enjoy coming here. It's safe. He said, we enjoy being here. He said, I'll be here as long as you want me to be here. I said, well, my boy, it's us. We can do it. Previous my grandfather, he and Buzu Chavis, Mr. Buzu Chavis, he and his family, they helped my grandfather. And when they would get back to the dance, Buzu was ready to play him. And he'd play all night long for them and stuff. And they stayed a long time, 10, 15 years probably. Buzu played for my grandfather.
Wow.
You know, and right now I think Rusty's probably 5, 6 years he's been playing for me.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I mean, very good young performer and stuff. And I have all confidence in him. He's very, very good guy.
He is. And I love that no matter how popular he might get, he's
always
going to come
saying-
back to Iowa.
He's always the same person, yes.
Love that. Love that.
With the world you've kind of talked about that's ever constantly changing, but at the root of everything are still people.
Yes.
And it's still
yes.
those traditions that you can pass on. Why, at the end of the day, is that so important to you?
Respect your elders. You know, respect go a long way. If you can get people to respect you, treat people the way you want to be treated.
The golden rule.
And respect people, but respect your community and your culture.
And your culture, yes. And being a captain, you know, it's a lot of responsibility. And these kids follow me, you know, throughout the community and stuff. And I treat people with respect. I get there and shake their hand and hug them and kiss them. And, you know, these young people, they stand up and they watch me and stuff. And, you know, at the same time, they're taking notes. Kids learn from what they see. And if they see you trying to treat people with respect and stuff, that go a long way.
Now, this is a tough question because you have nearly 50 years of experience celebrating Mardi Gras in Iowa. Is there a moment or a time that really stands out that you just won't forget, whether it was funny, heartfelt, amazing? Is there one time that sticks with you?
When I got engaged, I guess, when I brought my wife for the first time to a Mardi Gras and stuff, and she started looking and stuff, and what the hell going on here, you know? And, you know, they were making a gumbo out at the club and stuff, and who's all these people? What are they doing? You know, and when we started parading and stuff, I just looked at her and seen her eyes and stuff, and she was in another world because she was raised in Lake Charles and stuff, and they didn't really have the outdoors like we were going for house to house and stuff. These people crazy. They were running like they're crazy and stuff. And I guess that kind of stuck out with me. And then a while after that, when Griffith told me I would become the captain and stuff, and that kind of stands out, you know.
moment.
And I have to take the responsibility. And you know, when he told me that, I said, "Yeah, I'll do it." And when I give some person my word, hey, you know, I try to live up to that and stuff. And I've been there ever since.
Well, and I think it's funny that's the one that stands out because in your eyes, there's never been anything but this Mardi Gras.
Well,
So to see that through one of your own, seizing it for the first time, that had to be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it was something.
I love that. That's really special. So for those who are listening right now and want to experience the Iowa Mardi Gras celebration for themselves, how can they do that?
All they have to do is come to Iowa, Casey Hall, Highway 90, and come in. We have floats and stuff that is available. If the floats are full, go to the next float and ask them, can they ride with them? And the procedure is to sign up, because we try to keep about how many people that we're having, so we can have enough gumbo and stuff, you know, and stuff. And it's a $20 entry fee and stuff to ride. That covers your after party dance and everything, and the free gumbo. You know, so just come on down and sign up. And
that's another
join
thing
in.
that's so unique about you guys' parade is anybody can ride.
Anybody can ride. I tell you, one year, Mayor Roach, Randy Roach, he came down with his grandkids, and one of his grandsons and stuff, and he says, this boy wants a chicken. He wants to see about what the chicken run is about. I say, sure, join in. So we got on a float and stuff, and we went out and we threw a chicken a few times, and all of a sudden I seen this kid catch this chicken. It was his grandson, and his little face just lit up, and the mayor just lit up, and he enjoyed that very much. And he's been back a couple times since. So
I love that.
And the mayor of Iowa, he's been out to help us out any way he can and stuff. And we thank everybody for helping out. Like I say, this is not a money thing. We don't have any contributors, donations or anything. We would like to, but we never ask for donations or anything. But I want to thank all my crew, Bellard, Mr. Kimmy Bellard. That's also one of my, like a brother. It is my brother, his wife. They are 100% people. They're always there.
Love that. And so Mardi Gras morning, get out there, 8:00, head over to Iowa, register, get on the float.
We get on the float about 8, and we leave the hall about 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Right.
We'll try to leave and stuff and make our round and stuff. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again to Rodney for joining us here on the show. But the biggest thank you of all goes out to you, the listener, for taking time to join us here on this podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a rating or a review.
That, of course, helps us grow our audience and further share the unique experiences that all of Southwest Louisiana has to offer. Go to visitLakeCharles.org/podcast for more episodes, advice on where to eat, and events that are happening this weekend. I'm Jillian Porter.
And I'm Brady Raynard. Thanks again for coming to play at Louisiana's Playground. Sit you.